Hello, friends. I've got a pair of Urban Wolf Club boots. Been waiting. The focus is hilarious. Been waiting for these for a while. And sorry about the focus. I did. They just came the shoebox wrapped in plastic. So I took that off, and then I did catch a glimpse of the boots, and I think we're gonna be really happy with. Let's open them up, but I want to talk about the context. These are my second pair of Urban Wolf Club boots. First one I was not particularly thrilled with. I did a video on those. You could check them out. But basically, the leather they used was, in my opinion, quite subpar. Not the worst leather at all, but kind of a leather that was treated kind of stupidly, foolishly. It was a leather that feels like it was a little bit ruined. And it was sort of, how can we take away maybe some of the imperfections of this leather and just throw a plastic top coat on it that makes it look horrible but uniform for, frankly, people who aren't as educated in leather. So all that, and then it came with the wrong outsole. There's totally different outsole than was pictured. I bought these pair of boots. They did give me a slight discount because I was not pretty. I was, wasn't happy with the first pair of boots. So, which is very nice of them. And yeah, these are the boots that are going to make it right. And but we'll get more into just particular value, what to expect from this company. I don't expect the world. You do get what you pay for, and of course you get a lot more what you pay for. Okay, yeah. So love Urban Wolf Club. I've caught a glimpse of these boots. They're still in plastic. They are okay. Here we go. Let's quit the rambling. Urban Wolf Club, the Urban Wolf Club company. I do love wolves. And foxes and coyotes. I saw a coyote and a bear the other day. It was a great day. Okay, here we go. They come like this. Very, very good packaging. Wrapped in plastic. They got the foam. Here's your fabric laces. Actually, like these are a bit thick for my taste, and they've got the leather laces in there. And here we freaking go. Okay, wow. And it's fun. I won't have to. I mean, already, so this is as much as I've seen, or even more, and they look spectacular. Before we take the bag off, my main thing was I want a leather that looks great, and the leather that I previously got, they're like I don't know what they call it, maybe copper or tobacco or whatever. It was like plasticky, very squeaky, and they said it was T-core, but no, it wasn't. It was the same thing throughout. Yeah, and it wasn't like a natural kind of waxy top coat. It was a very, very unnatural synthetic plasticky top coat. And so here we go. Pardon me, drinking coffee. And no worse sound than that. But okay, here we go. Yeah, I know I'm a little all over the place, but oh my god. I mean, that's a boot. That is a boot right there. Wow. Wow. That is a spectacular, spectacular boot. Truly remarkable. They have that kind of glue and cheaper leather smell. You ever walk into those kind of leather jacket stores for motorcyclists, or there's a sheepskin store on the way through Pennsylvania, and it always has this very, very like chemical treated leather smell. That's what these smell like. They smell like a cobbler shop. Really, they smell great. Wow, wow. This is a remarkable boot. The finishing is just gorgeous. Oh, okay. They've got a new. They've got a new. See, I mean, they keep changing. This is a new heel. That's a new heel. Never seen that before. So they operate of like, we'll use what materials we have. They keep messing around. Oh, okay. This is actually a good sign because the other one was wearing through pretty quickly. I do wonder if this is like, hey, that's wearing too quickly. Let's get a new one. Let's get a different kind. So maybe that's what this is. Still feels like this will, chip pretty quickly, but oh my! I mean, okay, you're overwhelmed. I mean, this is a beautiful boot. This is an incredible boot, obviously for the money, as well. But forget the money. I mean, I'd spend $300 on these. I don't know, like they kind of have a, they kind of look like Truman Uplands. I mean, the Flatwell is beautiful. Nothing. I mean, like, yeah, I've seen boots 5 times the price that have worse QC than this. I mean, it's truly remarkable. And then they wrap the rough out over. How nice is that? Look at this craftsmanship. Very, very cool. Now they call this a copper rough out. Obviously, it's not. It's a burgundy rough out, but so what? Let's check this one out. Okay, you have a little bit of that bump. Not the most perfect lasting. That's just from this elastic toe coming through. That's okay. Again, context, money. I've always loved their brass. The outsole that they have photographed on their website is awesome. Kind of looks like a military spec outsole. They say that it wasn't as good as these, and these aren't great. So be it. Yeah, obviously you're getting a leather stacked heel, leather midsole, leather welt. I did ask for these to be like a brown polish. They were not brown polished. That's okay. Also asked for a pull loop. That's okay. Didn't get those. That's okay. Again, they did give me a slight discount on these because the last pair of boots, I did a review on them, and the idea though of that review, you should go watch it. It's kind of fun. People have been enjoying that. But the idea of that review is like, hey, yes, this is really good value, really good for your money, but like even though I've only spent 150 or 170 bucks on these, I'm not these stink. Like these don't make me happy. They look bad. They kind of smell. I don't mean literally smell, but they reek of not like they reek of just kind of crummy quality with great components. I don't know. It's like buying a table where like the legs are kind of garbage, but the top is like a really nice wood, and you're like, hey, I'm thrilled to have this nice wood, but why are the legs crap? But it was cheap. It's like, okay, but it's still shaky, you know. Maybe a bad example. I knew we wouldn't find a good example there. Yeah, like Urban Wolf Club is the best MSRP value for money right now for boots by far. If all you want is like a decent quality boot that's well made with a leather insole, leather midsole, leather stacked heel. I think the freaking heel counter's leather too. Like remarkable. You know, now what are you giving up? Well, you're giving up that it might just show up with a different outsole. And so if if you don't really care what the outsole is, great. And the leather quality is going to be somewhat questionable. Is it going to be garbage? No, I don't think anything they have is garbage. The leather I got was a little bit gross. Like it wasn't garbage. It was actually good, decent quality leather. Okay, like a C grade or even B grade, C grade leather. If you wore it on the job site, if you wore it to work, it's like you don't care what they look like. It would be great. It would function very, very well. But just aesthetically, and it just was overwhelmed with creases because of the weird plastic top coat. They would squeak. It just felt like garbage. It really felt like garbage. Now, was it actually garbage? No. But did it remind me of garbage? Yes, it did. It reminded me of cheaper leathers. It was not a cheaper leather. It wasn't like, I don't know, does Walmart have any actual, like, real leather boots? It really, like, it reminded me of those boots, but it was thicker. It was actually a better leather that was treated poorly, that had a really stupid top coat that was plasticky and garbage. Okay, enough said. And again, just to reiterate, the outsole was completely different, and I based that whole boot design off of the military spec outsole. I was really going for a specific look. Now that's my fault for going, hey, these are 170 bucks or whatever, 150 or I forget. I'm gonna get the boot of my dreams. I literally used a double RL, the Victor boots, as the thing to model them after. So yeah, I was going for a high standard. Not only did I get a low standard, but I just got a boot that I was like quite unhappy with. Okay. These are different. These are rough out. it's a waxed rough out. Clearly, they don't really say that, but it's a waxed rough out, and it's stunning. This waxed finish reminds me of I had a pair of what are they? Urban. These are Urban Wolf Club. They were like Urban Shepherd from Portugal. They're Portuguese boots, and they had a waxed leather that had a similar kind of like sanded or almost like a pressed grain pattern. Very interesting. And then you have a Wade nappy leather here in the shaft. Yeah, I mean this is ridiculous. This is a ridiculously nice boot. I went for the 8-inch plain toe, obviously. I mean, truly, truly ridiculous. Like how nice these are. Let's actually we're gonna open these up just to take a look and see what's happening in there a little bit more. I do love I asked for the eyelet on top, and then 4 speed hooks, and then 3 more eyelets. So overall, it's even. By the way, like there are boots that are so much more expensive that have the most messed up rivets for the eyelets that would cut the inner leather. These don't do that. These are beautiful, pretty great. So here's the leather, and look at that. Really, really nice pull up. This is the flesh side. I got it unlined. I got it semi-gusseted. This is amazing, See, okay. Look at this. Imagine this is the flesh side, right? And you've got all these markings. I bet that's what the brown leather I got was doing that. And maybe this is back in the tannery and they go, people are going to hate this. Look at all these imperfections. Let's just cover it in whatever garbage plastic top coat we've got. Well, I'm sure many of us would agree. It's like, I would rather a boot with all these markings than a garbage plastic top coat. I mean, this is far more beautiful to me. This looks like this was, a barbed wire or a thorn. This is from the cow's life. And, yeah, that's great. I'd much rather that. Okay. Is that a Strobel stitch? Oh, okay. Right there. Yeah, I think they're doing like a Strobel stitch or something that they do in like sneakers. That's really interesting. Dedicated internal leather heel counter. And then, yeah, so they do this thing where they take, it's a leather insole, and they put a bunch of foam on the bottom. Not terrible. In a way, it's great. That's a lot of, look how much leather that is. I remember not liking these in my first pair, but what the hell? It's a great option, and you could just take them out. And I think I used a Filson boot. Okay. You've got all the markings in there. I don't know if you could see, but leather insole, full on. Just this. So it's on. You're sitting on the lasting board, really. You have all the nails in there. 2419. Yeah. Wow. I think you have, obviously outsole, midsole, and then welt. So are these built like Red Wings where there's no, is there no midsole? And then, which is fine because they send them with these. This is the midsole. I think that's what's happening, which is, great. Yushu, great YouTube channel, really, really fun watch. I like that guy. He tore one of these apart, so I forget if there's cork in the cavity that the welt creates. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is a remarkable feat. To make these boots. Now you go, okay, if this is what it's costing them, with all these leather components, and they're only charging 150 to 170 bucks. What the hell are the rest of the companies doing? Like, I love Cordobas boots. I bought 2 of their engineers, I did videos on both those engineers. I actually ended up selling them. The sizing just didn't work for me. There's just way too much volume in the shaft. Just not my not you know not the right boot for me. But great company, really fun to work with, infinitely customizable. And then they move their price up. I think their engineers are like $410 now, and their service boots similar to these are I think 3 or 350. It's like, okay, how are they cutting? How are they doing this for this cheap? Are they just making less profit? Smaller shop? They're using someone else's shop? I don't know, but the fact that these are so cheap is amazing. And yeah, you get the feeling they're just made in a local shop, small shop, and they're doing a great job. Like, we didn't really talk about the stitching. I alluded to it, but it's perfect. It's literally perfect. Now it's harder to tell with like a wax rough out boot, but oh, look at that nap. Like, if I told you, okay, if we had just totally changed the context and we're like, okay, these boots were $650, like, you wouldn't go, that's like the worst deal ever. You'd go, okay, yeah. I mean, these are beautifully made. I guess they're custom too. This is my design. It doesn't exist on the website, right? I asked for all these specs. I did ask to upgrade to Vibram Soul. I said I'd pay for it, and they said we can't do that. Sorry, we can't get them. I think that would, if they do that, or if you like send them, I'm sure you could mail. I know somebody has sent them leather. I'm a deer hunter, and I was like, maybe I'll tan some of my skins and ask them to make deerskin boots. By the way, people have had a lot of issue with Truman boots not doing this, like not sitting perfectly. And again, a $500 boot, and then these just are perfect. It's remarkable. It is just remarkable. It's just like, I can't believe these boots are $170, and they're custom. Like, you can just message them and have whatever custom specs you want made. Now I haven't tried these on. Maybe they'll be terribly uncomfortable. I don't think they will be, but I've tried that on the other. I got the same size. They fit similarly to Red Wings, a little bit more volume. I would take, by the way, for sizing, I would take your Red Wing size, and again, just expect a bit more volume. So if Red Wing is like a perfect size, you might even want to go half size down from that. I'm not sure. I don't like talking about sizing because everyone has a different feel for what they're sizing. Forget reality of, your actual foot is different, which is one thing. Every foot is different volume wise and obviously length wise, and etc. It's just every foot is super different. You could have two size 10s and they look so different, totally different version of a 10. And then there's also your preference. Do you like a tight foot? Do you want it to hug your heel? Do you want it to, how much space do you want in the toe box? Some people like a lot of space. Some people don't like any space at all. So I just don't like talking about sizing. But me personally, I just saw the Phoenician Scheme, the Wes Anderson movie. Me personally, I feel very safe. Me personally, I take my Red Wing size. It's remarkable. I can't believe Urban Wolf Club is making boots with this value. And again, I think I'm glad my first pair wasn't perfect. And I'm very proud of that video because I was very fair to them. I was like, this is still a great value. However, I'm unhappy, and here's why. And I think they're very reasonable. I had good reason to be slightly unhappy. But again, if I was getting Urban Wolf Club out of utility, if they were my first pair of boots, I would be like, well, I would just wear those for a long time and enjoy them. But we're coming at this with like, I'm getting these for fun. I'm getting these just to have another pair to throw on every couple of weeks, to appreciate, to check out this craftsmanship, or to, dirty up, use for chores. I work on a farm. I was going to see, okay, maybe I do just wear these on the farm. I've been wearing Jim Greens on the farm. Let's try it. Let's try these other ones. So yeah, even that pair that I was unhappy with, if that was my first pair of boots, I'd be thrilled. But these are not my first pair of boots. I own Lofgrens and Wescos, and I'm blown away. These are absolutely stunning. So God bless Urban Wolf Club. Thank you so much for existing. And hope you found this fun, entertaining, or helpful. Consider subscribing. God love you. Thanks.